Bryce Underwood. Everything, high school senior, now going to be a true freshman at Michigan, is already a true freshman at Michigan, early enrolled. Got to see him in the spring game a little bit on a tape delay, so a little chess game there from the folks out there in Ann Arbor. The big question for him, though, the question everyone's asking in Ann Arbor around Michigan is he going to be good enough? And I threw that prompt towards Cato when we're getting ready for this segment. He goes, that's boring. Got to meet the moment, Bryce, which is a way better way to say it. I agree. Can Bryce Underwood meet the moment in 2025? Because I think most people now that are paying attention understand he's going to start for you in 2025. He's going to be your guy from game one, and he should be. Dude's freakishly talented, got a rifle for a right arm, is an absolutely elite athlete, throwing down backflips like 225 plus. He's going to start for you. But is he good enough to get you to where you want to go? And a lot of people outside of Michigan will cackle a little bit as I say this, but I think internally the expectation is college football playoff. They're snickering and laughing. No, look at what they did last year. Beat Ohio State, who won the national championship last year, by the way. You beat Alabama in your last game. I don't care it was a bowl game. I don't care that there was a bunch of guys opting out from both sides. You won that football game against a good roster at Alabama. They expect to go make the college football playoff. And to be real now, they've spent money to make the college football playoff. So, is Bryce Underwood good enough to get you there? Now, here's what I'll say. As of right now, we're sitting here in the month of May. Nobody actually knows. We won't actually know until we see him in the fall. But I will say this. Watching Bryce Underwood in that tape-delayed spring game, man, I like the early signs. I do. I like the early signs. As confident as you can be in a player during spring ball, heading into the fall, I like a lot of what we saw from the true freshman quarterback. Big reason why. He did not look at all like a guy who's supposed to still be a high school senior. He looked like a college quarterback in a new offense. Not a high school quarterback trying to get used to college football, trying to get acclimated. There were some things that he's going to have to get used to and ultimately learn. But I watched him, and one of the biggest things that jumped out to me watching him in that spring game, he didn't look sped up, which you see a lot from early enrollee freshmen, their first time playing college football, whether it be in spring football or whether it be in game one. There's this certain tempo to them where it's a little bit jittery. It's a little bit, you can tell they're thinking, getting from one read to the next. Bryce Underwood was smooth out there, brother. He looked poised. He looked calm. There was a couple of times where the opposing Michigan defense, they split the team into two teams, so understand it wasn't like he was rolling with the one offense versus the one defense, but in the split-up roster of a spring game that they had, a couple of times they brought a blitz. Offensive line would pick it up sometimes. Other times they didn't pick it up. Bryce Underwood casually gets out of the pocket, eyes downfield, still looking to throw. You don't see that from good athletes playing quarterback that are true freshmen in their spring game. Why? Because all of their high school career, they've been able to have a blitz come, they get out of the pocket, and then when they get out of the pocket, they're the best athlete on the field, so they take off and run for however many yards for a first down, touchdown, whatever. That has been Bryce Underwood's high school career. That was not what he was looking to do in the spring game. So that tells me he is, one, comfortable enough in the offense to be able to know where his outlet throws are supposed to be. The other part of that is he is comfortable enough as a college quarterback to not panic when he gets a blitz, when he sees something coming at him. He knows where it's all working. So, with that being the case, that gives me a lot of confidence in his control in the offense going forward, which you're going to have here. You're going to have if you want to go make the college football playoff. Bryce Underwood's first year running the show. The other part of this, kind of hand in hand with that, I didn't see a greed from Bryce Underwood. I saw a playmaker mindset. I saw him trying to push the ball vertical, but sometimes you see true freshmen, kind of what I said a second ago. During their high school career, they're able to just flick their wrist, find someone deep, that's 6 points, strike up the band. That's what they did their entire high school career. That's what Bryce Underwood, as the number one player in high school football, from wire to wire this past cycle, that's what he did his entire high school career. That wasn't something that I saw him force downfield when he was at the Michigan spring game. I saw a guy get to his checkdowns. I saw a guy diagnose the defense pretty quickly, get from the third level down to the first level of his throws and the flood concepts. I was really, really impressed by how he took what the defense gave him. Now, understand, Bryce Underwood brings a different level of explosive to that offense. That's a big reason, I think, why you're excited about the Chip Lindsey system, because it's not going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's going to be a little more spread it out, push it deep, have some more potential in the pass game than maybe you've had previously. But I didn't see a guy who has to really hone it in a whole lot. A guy has to rein it in a lot when it comes to his desire to push the ball downfield, which to me is exciting about a guy who's as talented as he is. Now, last thing I'll say, what I'm excited about in addition to the pass game, because that's something that'll come, right? Like I told you, I'm comfortable with his control. I'm comfortable with his appetite for the big play while not being greedy. It's not going to take him any time in the run game to get comfortable. I told you, dude, like a guy who's clocked right around 4.5 in the 40 per a Google search, a guy who can throw down backflips at 220 plus pounds, he is going to be a force for you in the quarterback design run game. I promise you. That's not something that's going to take a second to acclimate. So what he's going to be for you on third and short, that fires me up. You had that little wrinkle into your offensive scheme right away. So after watching the spring game, to answer this question, is Bryce Underwood going to be good enough for you? I think so. Now we're projecting a little bit, but I think so. My question within that is, okay, is the skill talent good enough around Bryce Underwood to be able to run this offense how you're supposed to run this offense? That's not me talking about the running back room. I'm more looking at the receivers. Because there was a couple of times now during that spring game where Bryce Underwood throws a frozen rope, hits a dude in the hands. Maybe it's a tough catch, tough body position, but it's ones that if you're going to go make the college football playoff and compete for a Big Ten championship in 2025, you got to have. And I keep saying this, like I understand they split the roster in half. A lot of the guys that are going to ball on Saturdays for Michigan were not playing at a high volume of snaps in the spring game. I totally understand. But when it is time for those guys to have a higher, repetition number, when it is time for Donovan McCulley to go make plays for Bryce Underwood, I need to see those plays made. Because if you have that, I've said it many times, I'm not questioning the run game. From Bryce Underwood, from Justice Haynes, from Jordan Marshall, I'm not questioning that. My question is, do you have the exclamation mark to what the sentence has been for Michigan football? They've always had the sentence. They've always had the run the ball. They're going to have that again. Do you have the explosive plays on top of that to really get this party started? Because if you remember correctly now, during 2023, that was what J.J. McCarthy did really well, what Cornelius Johnson did really well, what Roman Wilson did really well. That was what separated Michigan from old Michigan to revamped Michigan to national championship Michigan. Does Bryce Underwood have the people around him to ultimately get there? That's my question. We don't have the answer to, but I'll tell you what, you have a Ferrari engine. You do. Everything we had heard about Bryce Underwood before he got to Michigan, I saw the raw ability and I saw the refinement that spring practice would provide a player of his caliber. So that's just spring football, man. He gets a whole 20-plus practices during fall camp to get right. And when it's time to play ball, I'll tell you what, 19, I believe he's going to be ready. I can't wait to watch it. So you got a Ferrari engine, just can't be out there with a Volkswagen car. That's the deal here, because if you do, it's not going to work well. But hopefully Michigan feels like they have enough talent around him to make that Ferrari engine hum.